It's been an incredible year in the city of Fulshear, and I want to first applaud council, all of you for your efforts, the work you've done in the city. It's been a big year. In fact, probably more than I will say in the next few minutes that we have together. I think this year can be defined by exponential. The growth in the city has been exponential. In fact, I had city staff send us a list of just kind of accomplishments that have happened in each department. And that list is quite lengthy. I'll read most of it. But in the planning and development phase, the permits and approvals and all of that, there was about a half a page paragraph of just new businesses that have been approved within the last few months. It signifies part of that growth and a number of developer agreements that have been approved. The new homes that start, just driving over this evening, I was like, that house was not there last week, I promise. So growth is exponential, and I want to applaud council on their efforts, their work, their diligence. I know it's not an easy job, but we appreciate you. So thank you for all of your work. Additionally, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank staff. City staff works hard day in and day out to ensure the success of Fulshear. Everywhere I go, people are talking about the city, what's happening, and the development and the future, and how proud even they talk about the CDO that this council worked hard on, that staff worked on, that so many partners within the community worked tirelessly to make happen. And so the reputation throughout the county, even throughout the state, is phenomenal. So staff, thank you for your work and all that you do to contribute to the success of the city of Fulshear. We're proud of you, and we don't say it enough, but thank you. That being said, I want to highlight some of those departments, and one of those is finance. Our finances look very good at the 6-month mark. We're halfway through the year, and the finance department continues to receive award after award. They're recognized for achievements for excellence in financial reporting by the Government Finance Office. For the 6th consecutive year, they received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award by the Government Finance Office Association. And they continue to ensure our transparency and work hard to make sure we stay within budget. Tax return, the sales tax returns are above what was projected at this point in the year, and has no sign of tapering off. So we're excited about the future and the revenue streams that the city has, the economic development that's happening throughout the city. I'll touch more on that in a moment. But we're proud of our police department as well. Again, one of the safest cities in all of the state of Texas. We've created new positions this year. In fact, we staffed a corporal's position for the first time in 2022. We continue to maintain a zero complaint ratio. We've expanded the flock system, one of those that I'm super proud of, the flock system, 35 cameras now citywide, and those have been instrumental in solving a number of crimes, even resulting in arrest last week because of the use of those cameras. So we're proud to have that system in place. PD continues to recruit and develop new hiring methods that are attracting and resulting in us having the ability to hire Tier 1 applicants. And so we're proud of our police department. They keep us safe, and they're always there, and we can't thank them enough. Public Works, probably one of the busiest departments in the city at any given moment. We continue to move forward with new parks. Tamaron West subdivision, we've got Eagle Landing Park, and they're in the process of designing and implementing a 26-acre park for soccer fields. So we're looking forward to having that here shortly. In addition, we've awarded the design service for the second phase of Primrose Park, a 25-acre site. And this phase is focusing on the Little League baseball, parking, concessions, restrooms, facilities, basketball courts. So we're excited about the expansion of Primrose Park and what it will mean for our city. Daly Park just opened last weekend, and so we've got, when you start talking about these other two parks and Daly Park, it begins to change the landscape of youth sports in and around the city of Fulshear. In addition, we're moving quickly on CIP projects. In fact, Council just last week approved us going to the Texas Water Development Board to try to secure funding in the amount of like $14.5 million. That's a whole other story for another day. But it speaks to the amount of growth and the projects that are in the pipeline. The expansion of Fulshear Plant 1, water plant downtown, a water plant number 2, which will have an elevated storage tank near Pecan Ridge. New 1 million gallon wastewater treatment plant at the CCR wastewater treatment plant is in the pipeline, and as well as some air strippers to add to the water quality to mitigate some of the sulfur smell that we encounter in our water here in Fulshear, and all of the areas around here have that. So a number of projects that are in the pipeline, some that we've already awarded construction contracts for. Of course, City Hall, we are nearing completion. The city manager will be giving an update, but it looks like now it's first part of June. Mid-June, we'll be into City Hall. Construction's about 80% complete at this point. So we're excited about that move and everybody being virtually under one roof. We look forward to that. Also, the expansion of the city's wastewater treatment plant downtown, improvements to increase that capacity to get better flows there. In coming up shortly, we'll be awarding some additional projects for construction at 2 lift stations to help control some of the odor at those locations. And one of the projects that I think is really important is we've added polyphosphate to the system to help with some of those discolorations and the watercolor, some of the fouling that happens as a result of that. There's tons of CIP projects, and this just highlights a few of the things that are happening on the water and wastewater side. Obviously, the expansion of those services is important as the city continues to grow, to stay on top of that. Somebody asked me the other day, do we have capacity? Yes, we have capacity. Capacity isn't an issue. It's timing and making sure that everything works together and staying out in front of it. That's the challenge for staff and for council. And so we're excited about that future, and part of that does require funds. And so we're being diligent with a rate study that's out right now, the beginning to prepare for any bonds that may be necessary to make sure that we can improve at a rate that is needed. And the North Fort Bend Water Authority continues to say, hey, we'll get you water in a timely manner, but we also know that we have to still provide that capacity, so we understand the importance of staying in front of that. In planning and development, the court falls under that. You've been busy. So court cases post-pandemic have spiked a little bit. But along with that, so is some of the permitting and the growth. And in fact, I used to go around saying, hey, we have 140 inspections a day. And in December, I was told, hey, Mayor, sometimes that's 180 or 210. So that number has ticked up in recent weeks. And so, again, that speaks to the volume and for the desire for people to come and live in our community. We completed plans and reviews and permitting for a number of new commercial tracks. This is what I was speaking of. It's literally like half a page long, so I'm not going to read them all. But they include Culver's, Black Rock Coffee, Joe's Italian, Salad and Go, Orleans Seafood, Goddard School, Johnny Rita's, Bank of America, Marco's Pizza, Project Halo, American Daycare, Fizz Drinks, Hot Spot, Fine Wines, Elite Dermatology, Dogtopia, Texas Children's Pediatrics, Blackout Auto Spa, Insect Athletics, and I can go on and on and on. But the truth is, for the first 4 years or so of my term, probably the first 3 years, 3 months, it was all about residential development. That were the developers who were calling saying, hey, can we talk? Hey, can we go for a ride? Can we talk about what's coming to Fulshear? That has changed in the last 6 months. It's all about commercial development. People want to be in the city. They want to be a part of what's happening. Economic development is happening quickly. And so we're excited to invite those strategic partners into our community to continue to diversify the tax base and expand who we are, while at the same time maintaining who we are, a small town that cares deeply about our neighbors, who loves to have the events, to go out and to spend time with friends, to know each other's name, to be accessible. We don't ever want to give up on those values. While we're projected to be larger than Sugar Land, we want to be able to maintain that small town feel, to have that charm where everybody feels welcome and the quality of life is exemplary. With that, we have completed development agreements for Pecan Ridge, Fulshear, Del Webb, the Braid Tract, and it'll mean annexation into the city, and allows the city and all of those tracts to have higher regulatory standards. And so we're glad to have those projects coming in. With that growth comes the importance of roads. We all know how important that is. We've seen the THP open up, and it has changed the landscape. Even as we stand here at Irene Stern, we were just given more land, in fact, to add to this tract. And but you can look across now and you see the roadways and you see the rooftops that weren't there a year ago. So they hadn't even started really moving dirt as we stood here a year ago. But with that, we've got the Huggins Improvement expansion is about to be underway. That goes all the way from basically Sims Road all the way out to 359. So we're excited about that expansion. It'll make a big difference when you try to go through and around the city. The design for Wallace Street is underway, preparing for that expansion. Harris Street is about to be under design. City Council has approved streetscapes, and we're looking forward to those projects, adding to the walkability of downtown. 4th Street east of FM 359 design is complete, and construction is set to begin soon, including east downtown drainage improvements. We always want to be mindful of drainage and what that means for the city. Probably one of the highlights in the last year is the completion of the comprehensive plan was updated. Not only was the comprehensive plan updated, but the Home Rule Charter Commission convened. They met. They proposed 12 propositions that all passed in this recent election and will be confirmed tonight as we canvass those results. We've also added a water line north that goes up to Jordan and Woods Road in partnership with Tamaron West, which then opens that tract for additional commercial and residential development. Obviously, many of you are aware, a couple of weeks ago, we voted on the sale of City Hall. We had 6 bidders who competed in that process to purchase the old City Hall site. We're looking forward to what the future of that site might hold as we prepare to make our move into our new City Hall. Additionally, economic development. We hired a new economic development coordinator, Herman Rodriguez. I don't see Herman with us tonight, but he's off and running on a number of projects and getting moving and getting to know the EDCs. But all of that to say, Fulshear remains the premier address in Fort Bend County. Everywhere we go, people are talking about the growth that's happening in Fulshear. They're proud of the way council has handled themselves. They're proud of staff. They talk frequently about how friendly the people are, the diversity within the city. I got this last Sunday. Spent some time at a new Asian food market that opened up on 1463. The number of restaurants continues to diversify. It's a diverse population, highly educated. Again, named one of the wealthiest cities in the state of Texas. And even home prices, I believe I saw an article this week, number 3 in the state of Texas as far as the average home price. That's pushing north of $500,000 per home value now. So just some of the things that make us special in the city of Fulshear. But the truth is we couldn't do any of it without each and every one of you, those who serve on council, our city staff, and the members of our community who serve on our boards and commissions. You make a difference in what you're doing on a daily basis. I have never been so proud to call a place home as I am today in the city of Fulshear. The residents of Fulshear, they're gracious, they're kind, they're willing to help whenever there is need. We've survived hurricanes and freezes, and council has continued to thrive and work well with one another and with staff. And so I applaud you, and I say thank you. And things are looking really good as we get halfway through our fiscal year and as we begin new terms for newly elected officials and new terms for boards and commissions. The trajectory of the city continues to be upward, and we're excited about our future. Thanks for giving us a little bit of time today, and we look forward to seeing you all out and about in the community at our events and through as we continue just to go about living in the beautiful city that we call home. Thanks.